Awesome. Okay. Well, we're
Good day, Bob.
Hi, David. So good to see you. Wonderful to see you.
Nice to see you too, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, welcome everyone. We're very delighted to have everyone here. We've got just a world-class program today. We have three guest speakers we're ever so grateful to have. And we'll go ahead and just open up in prayer. And then we'll go to some announcements and then to some wins. So if you have something you can share with us, please do. And for a win, you can take 30 seconds, maybe as long as a minute on a win. And then we'll jump in with our first speakers. So I'll go ahead and pray. And then we'll go to some announcements. So, dear Lord Jesus, thank you so much for your mercy and grace that you've shown to us and allowed us to have this fantastic business, Lord, for our health, our personal health, our families, to offer to hundreds and thousands of people who need what we have. And for the business opportunity to choose, since, Lord, most of us, it's very good if we have excellent financial strength. It's just so helpful to our peace of mind and everything else. So, Lord, we thank you also for the wonderful business opportunity. We pray that we become more skilled and gifted at teaching people about that and training them and helping them develop and getting strong finances that are available for us. So, Lord, we ask you to put your hand on this meeting and on our speakers and just guide every thought and every word, Lord. And thank you for being here and that you love every single one of us. We're so grateful for that, for our guest speakers, for your presence with us, Lord, and your kindness and mercy and love towards us and your provision. We ask your guidance and blessing now in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so a few announcements we have quite an international meeting. We have Brent and David up in Canada, and we have Barbara in the Caribbean. And so we're so happy to have everyone here. For announcements, please write down January 14th and January 28th, and you can go to neolifeevents.com for the link for registration. These are going to be tremendous, fabulous business building opportunities for us to get people on. It's free. They can register for free and watch from the comfort of their home. I encourage you guys to get people to your home together, because way more fun being together, way more fun. And they can sign up right online. On the 14th, it'll be on financial opportunity, and Kendra can probably tell us more about that when she comes on. And on the 28th, it will be on health and nutrition and great testimonies and SAB scientists, tremendous, excellent information. Then our nutrition training today, please, if you could write this down as well, this number, it's on a different Zoom. It's on 963-644-1807, password ATP. And what we're going to do on that nutrition training today, I highly encourage you to get on there. It starts at 11 West Coast time. We're going to play Matt and Jamie Summers' presentation that they use each week. And the two reasons we're doing that, one is they're very gifted communicators, excellent. And so we want you to see that, and then we can all learn from what they present. They're very good. And also because Matt and Jamie are been so gracious to agree to speak to our team on January 4th. Some of you might not know them, but they are a Sapphire Director World Team member in the Blaine's team. And they came from another company that was a very strong, wonderful opportunity. In that company, some things changed, so the opportunity went away, but they had a business there, which was around a 3 Ruby size business. So very, very significant business. And they've been kind enough to agree to speak to our team on January 7th. That's our first meeting of the year. And the reason we want you to watch it today, or it's on every Wednesday, I can send you some information on that. It's at 5 o'clock West Coast time, and it's 30-minute call. But the reason we're going to show you that today at our 11 o'clock West Coast time training is because Matt and Jamie have so much to offer in the way of training that if we have this under our belt, like we've seen how they do their nutrition presentation and a few other things in that 30-minute time, then at our next VOC, they won't have to take time on that, and they can give us stuff that will help us get our team up and running and developing business ability and way to increase their financial strength in each of our distributorships. So I hope you guys understand that. So it's so that we can get the nutrition part, be familiar with that. And then on January 7th, when the team meets, they can focus more on helping our businesses grow, what to share with our people. So from there, I think I'm going to open up to some, Josh and Bethany Fiegels are in Florida, and Josh got to join us. We're so grateful. They're in the Cornelius team, a magnificent Kevin and Janet, and just the greatest people imaginable. And Josh joined us at convention, and we really enjoyed having him. And then Bethany got to be at our at the Wisdom Builders retreat with her dad. That was really great. And they're executive managers, and they've had some wonderful benefits from the products. And they agreed to take a few minutes and share with our team some of the great benefits. So Bethany and Josh, you got a few minutes? Go ahead and tell us how the product helped.
Thank you, Bob. Hi, everybody. So our family started on NeoLife.
Seriously, in July.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd had a little bit of it in the spring, but then in July, I think because of convention, it was like, all right, let's get serious. At least for me, beginning of July, I knew convention was coming end of July. And so I said, all right, I'm going to get the weight loss solution going and the detox and all the vitamins, and made a go of it, and lost weight and feeling great. Loving the shakes as a breakfast. I told some people I used to regularly drink several Red Bulls for breakfast with granola bars, and it was just, chasing the uppers all the time, as far as caffeine and sugar and everything. And so I've just felt a huge improvement in my overall health, in addition to the weight loss, because of the shakes and the vitamins, and and now I'm in the 90-day challenge. So all of that's been really great for me.
Yep. And for me personally, I've dealt with adult acne for the last 20 years, and I've tried everything imaginable. It feels like any three-step solution you've seen somewhere, I've probably used it. Doctor prescriptions, things like that. Nothing seemed to take care of it from the inside out. And that was not even something I was thinking about when starting on NeoLife. I was more just thinking general health. And I was shocked. In 2 months, my skin cleared up. I've never, as an adult, had skin like this. I still will be walking by and see myself in a mirror and go, I can't believe that's my skin. It's been amazing. So to be able to have that, I'm 42, and it feels like finally I'm getting to feel like, I don't know what it's like to have younger skin. So.
Thank you, Bethany. What do you have an idea which products were most instrumental in helping that?
I started on the breakfast solution, but then added in acidophilus and vitamin E. And I think I added those in a couple months after we started.
Yeah, it seems the vitamin E is what you mentioned. Like if we're relaxed on our reordering, or actually we've got our NeoShip in place, but we also have our 3 kids on all the products as well. And so we're still figuring out the pacing of exactly what needs to be on NeoShip. And so there've been a few times where we'll run out of E, and she'll notice that, her skin might start to respond to the lack of E. And then as soon as we get the E back, that seems to be a deal changer for her healthy skin.
Wow. Okay, good. And have you guys seen any certain benefits in the kids? Have you noticed anything in their health?
Yeah. Our son, Jude, he's our oldest, and he's on the autism spectrum, but we've noticed just a calmer presence in him, and maybe less mood swings, but overall.
Well, and he's also got hypoglycemia. And so the glycemic response really helps stabilize him. And so having him on a shake first thing in the morning really levels them out. And that's been a real benefit.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, that makes it easier for the whole family, right? If one member is got more stable, right?
Definitely.
That's great. And I think I heard you guys say you like the cleaners too. Did you guys, are you guys using our cleaners?
Yeah, we are. We love them.
Okay,
Yep, we've integrated pretty much everything. The laundry
Yeah, the laundry
is
detergent's
our
amazing.
favorite.
what do you
And then we
notice about what do you like about it, Josh?
Oh, well, I just like that it doesn't smell toxic. You know, it's really easy to use. And then I know Bethany's got just really great results from it as far as its ability to clean things.
And for whites to be whiter.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, impressive. And then are you guys using LDC, Super 10, green, any of that as well?
Yep, we cleaned all of our windows with it. I think it only needed like a drop in a whole spray bottle. And anyway, they've been great. It's all been great.
Yeah. Well, and we also have a woman who cleans our house a couple times a month, and she was using all, bleach and all the really smelly chemicals, and it was seeming to give us just headaches. And after we'd have a clean house, but then the house just felt like it needed a detox. And so we actually got her one of the cleaning kits that was in Spanish, because her first language is Spanish, her second language is English. And we gave that to her and asked her if she would swap out, for our cleaning materials versus hers. And she has, and that's been a benefit for us as well. So
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, it seems like I remember, Josh, you told me now that you used the NeoLife cleaners on your windows, you can see through them now.
yeah, right.
Okay, good. Well, that is thrilling. Those are wonderful things. Thank you guys for sharing.
Yeah, happy to.
And Josh, maybe you could just take a few seconds, and Bethany too, on your experience at convention, Josh, how it impacted you, your thoughts about the company. And then Bethany, maybe you could comment after Wisdom Builders, because that's quite an intro with the NeoLife community too. Can you share just briefly on that too?
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, the thing that was so a great takeaway from conference is I loved the SAB. I loved getting into the science. I loved hearing about all of the why behind the nutrition. For me, that was, every time someone would get up and talk about the nutritional why was super helpful. And it also, I find that as I'm taking the products since then, just those little bits of things that they would say, just boost my confidence, so it's nice to talk about the easily tangible results, clearer skin or losing weight. But I think that what also is so helpful is understanding that some of the benefits we might not see for decades, but that we're laying this foundation of health so that, in our elder years, we have strong minds and strong bodies and overall sense of well-being and vitality. And so knowing that the science backs up the nutrition, it makes me feel really good taking the products, even the ones that are just, it's like, okay, I'm just feeding my cells. I don't see a difference necessarily. Sometimes some of the products, you don't even feel a difference because it's not immediate, but knowing that at the cellular level, my mitochondria and my, all of the proteins are going in and balancing the hormones. And I think that was huge for me. And then secondly, I think just getting to interact with such a positive group of people. There's so much negativity in the world these days, everywhere you turn, even some family and friends. And it's so great being around people that have a growth mindset, that are drivers and ambitious and believe in solutions to problems. So that was just a real benefit for me, being around that type of positivity.
Mm-hmm.
I agree 100%. Okay, Bethany, what were your observations or feelings after the Wisdom Builder retreat?
Yeah, so that was my first interaction really with NeoLife as a company. It helped me to understand a much bigger picture of how it's operating. But I was really inspired by probably just like the joy and the energy when Jamie and Matt shared, when John Winters shared, like it was really sweet to see so much positive change in their lives. But also, like we had not even, when we started on NeoLife, we never really thought about it from the business side in the beginning. But watching so many families, like this is a part of their life and it's a business they can do. We homeschool our kids, and I had been praying for even just a business to be able to work with our children so that they could learn entrepreneurship and go down that road. And I was just really inspired by the homeschool families that were there. I didn't realize that there were so many.
Yeah.
So that was inspiring, but also just really encouraging to watch them and to see how they operate within NeoLife.
Great. And you guys have, you two and all your kids coming to convention registered, right? Seems like I remember.
Yeah, we're coming to convention. We also signed up for spring retreat, and we're taking our kids to that too. So
Wow, that is neat. And you know, at convention, you guys, I think you're going to have 3 generations of your family at convention, right?
Yeah,
that's right.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
That is very cool.
We used to have that many times in our family. The first 2 generations are not here now, but you know, we used to have that for a long time. So you guys are going to have 3 generations there. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing, you two. And I think I'm going to segue into a win for me, and then I think we'll go to John and Jen. You know, Josh and Bethany mentioned that their house cleaners' first language is Spanish. Isn't that what you guys said? So yesterday, this was a wonderful win. I had a Mexican lady. Her name is Eufemia Rojas, and she is a friend of one of my friends named Luis Vergara, and he's just the most dynamic leader you could imagine. He holds conferences for 400 and 500 people once or twice a year. He's amazing. And Eufemia came in my office because of Luis, and she plunked down 3 $100 bills and let me see, 250s. She got 3 Fido Defense and 2 Pro Vitality. That's a pretty nice order. And then Gabriela Aguiar, she came in right after Eufemia and plunked down $260. So those are nice purchases. And they're not real good in English. And so I called Edwin at the home office. We've had him on this call, and I think we're going to have him again. He runs the he runs the LA office. And so I called him. Fortunately, he wasn't tied up. Usually he's tied up in meetings because he does a great job. But then I put him on speakerphone, and he speaks to them in Spanish. And I did that one day. There was a Mexican lady here. I couldn't understand anything. She couldn't understand me. I put Edwin on, and in 15 minutes, she signed up just on the phone. No PowerPoint, no pictures to help communicate, just on the phone. And he does that all day long. And you guys, I got to tell you this, on his weekly Facebook call, Josh and Bethany, you might want to get your lady that cleans your house, because she's entrepreneurial, right? She has her own business. You want it, I can give you her Edwin's number. Edwin has 40 to 80 Latinos on his Facebook group call every I think it's Tuesday night. 40 to 80, you guys. And so he's hoping to be here January 15th to speak to a Latino group here in Eugene. We don't have everything nailed down, but we're hoping for the 15th. And then he said he'd stay 4 or 5 days, and not in an arrogant way, but a very confident way. He said, when I leave, I'll have 20 applications, 20 new members or promoters. Is that awesome, you guys? So that was a big win. And Daniel and Les and anybody in our area that's on, if you guys have Latino community that wants to get in on that, you know, we'll get them in there. And Josh, I'll give you, maybe I should just give it to you right now for any of you that have Latino contacts, because Edwin, I know he built a director in the Blaine team. I met her at convention. She's from El Salvador, I believe. And he just gets them so excited. They were here in my office laughing. I couldn't understand much what was going on, but they were laughing, and they held him on the phone probably 20 to 30 minutes. They didn't want him to go. So the reason I'm telling you that is just so you know, he's very engaging he connects very well with them. Okay, he speaks perfect English and perfect Spanish. So his number, for those of you who have Latino contacts or Latina contacts that Edwin could get on the weekly call, because they'll get fired up. One of them came in here that's been on his call. She said, I'm going to buy your business pretty soon. So she's really excited. So his number is 562-324-5870, and he runs the LA office. So anyway, that was a wonderful win. Does anybody else want to take 30 to 60 seconds to share a win before we go to John and Jen? Okay, then I will introduce John and Jen. They are on the cover of the Lifestyle magazine. There's 4 people on here, and they are the 2 best looking. So that's how you can tell who they are. And I know John a little bit better, and I'm blown away by what a wonderful person he is. I did get to talk to Jen a little bit at the campfire, along with Matt and Jamie too, at a wisdom builder retreat a while back. And Jen is really sharp. She's a major player on the staff at a law practice that she works at, because she's just very gifted that way. And I talked to her sponsor yesterday, Jamie, and Jamie, listen to these words Jamie used. This is really highly complimentary of Jen. Captivating, powerful, extraordinary. And they are the first husband-wife team to both win the challenge champion. And for John, they're Emerald directors. So not only did they get massive health benefits, which you're going to hear about shortly, but they have a great business. Emerald director, you guys, that's adding like probably $800 to $1,100 a month, maybe even more to their income, which that helps all of us, extra cash. So that's fantastic. And John is just so warm and kind and loving and fun, just drips charisma. So you guys, we're just so fortunate and blessed to have John and Jen Winters, Emerald directors, and they're going to take the next 20 to 25 minutes if you guys have some questions, and then we'll have another great speaker after them too. So you guys, let's give just the warmest welcome to Emerald directors, John and Jen Winters.
Wow, Bob, you are one of the kindest people we have met in this journey in NeoLife, and I just want to start off by saying thank you so much for believing in us to share with your team.
We totally believe in you. It's
a great honor to do that. Especially from our beginnings here, we're new like everyone else. We've been in the business a year, and we hope to add some value and share some insight as what helped us, where we have fallen short sometimes. And I really think that's the biggest lesson I've learned from a lot of great leaders like Bob Pearson. And I just want to say, Bob, I met Bob at a retreat in the spring. And so we were newer in the business, and, everybody that we've met so far that have great success in this business are some of the most humble and kind people I've ever met in my life. And Bob is no exception. I mean, he is an incredible man who's just shares his heart. And what I've learned from them about being a better man and a business leader for people that are with our team now and for the future is that, he shares his falls and his stumbles and, his shortcomings. And I appreciate that, Bob, because that takes a lot of humility to share with people, your heart and essentially what has been things that have been challenges for you, and you don't always see that with people. And I would say that is definitely one thing a leader needs to have is humility. And Bob, you just are a great example of that. So we appreciate you. And we hope to emulate you in so many ways. So my name is John Winter. This is my wife, Jen Winter. I am, she's the one that keeps things in order here, and I'm the talker.
Sounds great.
I'm the extrovert and she's the introvert. So we cover that really well for anybody that's in either category here, because we both equally have enrolled people into the business, into the health challenges and whatnot. whether it be from my circles or hers, but sometimes it's been a good, fun, back and forth. And we have a little story behind that as we go into this. So a little bit about me, and then I'll have Jen tell you her 2-minute story, because I think that's important as we go into the business side, how important it is to have your 2-minute story. And I'm sure that most of you already do. And if you're new, this is something really simple to do. So your 2-minute story is just where you started before NeoLife, and then starting NeoLife, in the midst of NeoLife, like where you're at now, and then what you see for your future. So kind of a 4 little things that you do in your story, and it should be about 2 minutes. And so this is my story. I was at the worst shape of my life, over 260 pounds. My blood pressure was through the roof, 185 over 103. I was at the enterologist. See, she keeps me on point. The gastro doctor. And it was the same guy who actually treated my father. And my father died at age 58. All kinds of issues, but it was all related to the stomach and arteries and stuff like that. And so I was there with massive stomach issues. Thought I might have had cancer. I didn't know. I had to have a colonoscopy. Blood pressure through the roof, like I said. My feet were so bad, they needed physical therapy, which I did go through for several months. And emotionally, I didn't feel good about myself. I was cranky, I was tired, I was lazy, I was all those things with all that extra weight and health issues. And so the doctor told me, he said, John, if you don't change your ways, in 10 years, you'll be dead like your father. And that was the wake-up call. And I hope that most people don't have to come to that point. It still gets me, because I have an 8-year-old son and a 15-year-old daughter and an amazing wife that I don't want to leave behind. And I want to be here for many years to be able to mentor them and be there for them, protect them, provide for them, all the things a husband and a father should do. And so I reached out to our great friend, Jamie and Matt. And I was watching them on social media, and I just saw them getting fitter. They were really fit, and they got even fitter. And I'm like, and just a little prelude, we knew Jamie and Matt from a previous business, and we were more just product users in that business. We didn't really promote there. And we had some results, but looking back, that was probably more like most things out there, appetite suppressors and caffeine drinks and stuff like that, not more on the natural side. But so I reached out to Jamie and I said, what are you guys doing? And looked up NeoLife, looked into the information, and I was blown away that it was so different than everything. It was natural. It was all what we've pretty much been taught for the last 10 years. And that's the human food chain, salmon, get your fish, your proteins, your grains, all that. And that's what NeoLife does. And they do it like nobody else. So that was the start of our journey. And first month, down 19 pounds, we entered the challenge. And that really kept us focused. So I encourage anybody not in the challenge to get into it, and always try to get your people into the challenge too. Really make that a priority, because it gives them some self-accountability and something to shoot for, a goal, and the rest is history. Absolutely, my blood pressure and everything. And again, this is my body correcting itself through good nutrition. We don't make claims that NeoLife corrected my blood pressure or my stomach or anything, but it gave the nutrition my body needed to correct itself. I know Kendra will be proud of me on that. So, so that part of the story was really, the rest is history. Down 73 pounds, fluctuating a little bit, but overall lost 73 pounds, and still have about 10 more pounds that we want to lose, 10, 15 pounds. And now we're more onto the fitness side of things, but I'll let Jen give hers. And mine was more than 2 minutes there, but that's okay.
Yeah, mine will be 2 minutes. But so when we first started this, I wanted it to start for myself, because I was at the heaviest I had ever been. I was, even when I was 9 months pregnant, I didn't weigh what I weighed when I started on NeoLife. And we did a lot of unhealthy, we ate a lot of junk, and it was just the result of, putting on the weight. We were always chasing our tail. We're always so busy. And I was exhausted all the time. And, our 8-year-old is extremely active. And so, I commute. It's like a total of a 2-hour commute every day downtown for work. And then I would get home and we would be doing homework. And I felt terrible all the time, and I would just take a quick bite of something to eat that wasn't healthy, and that's how the weight came on. But I was always had stiff joints. I really never had energy. I had headaches all the time, and I was just exhausted. So when we started, John's like, let's reach out to Jamie. We reached out to Jamie, and we started on the weight loss solution. Was it the weight loss or breakfast solution at the time? We started on the breakfast solution, and I started feeling great. And I used to have an obsession with peanut M&Ms. I used to love my sugar, and the shakes seemed to stop that right away. And I just felt great. I couldn't explain it to him. I'm like, this can't be real. That's how good I felt so quickly just from putting good things in my body. And I had a shoulder issue that I was dealing with. I ended up I was losing the weight and went through 2 surgeries. My doctors were shocked at how great I healed from my surgery so quickly. The day of surgery, we went for a 3-mile walk. I mean, it's just amazing how great we feel now. I'm now down 85 pounds. And like he said, we're really trying to focus on the fitness side now, and, start exercising and building muscle and things like that. So, but yeah, to go from where I was to where I am now, you don't know how bad you feel until you feel good. And I didn't realize just how bad I felt, because now I just feel amazing,
So consistency was really the big thing for us. If that would be a tip to give to anybody, is that being consistent with what you're eating and taking the NeoLife products. And we walked a lot. In the beginning, we really couldn't do a lot because of her shoulder and my feet. We couldn't do a lot. So we did a lot of walking, 2 or 3 days a week, 20, 30 minutes, nothing extraordinary, but we stayed really 85% of getting healthy is always going to be your nutrition, your supplements, and the food that you put on your plate. And we didn't eat anything, crazy. We followed macro plans based on our body's BMR, basal metabolic rate. So I really encourage if you can get it from a simple scale now, it's so easy. You can order the scale for like $20 online. Arbor Leaf was the one we ordered, but you're looking for your BMR, and that tells you what your body's going to burn every day, just being you. So mine was like 1850 and hers was around 14. So we just added 100 calories on that. Again, this is all stuff Jamie had taught us. And then it was all about portions. We had like a lower carb, 20% carb, 45% fat, 35% protein. And then you can move those numbers around a little bit, depending if you're more athletic or you're more sedentary like we were. But that being said, we were not overeating like we'd done our whole life. And we were eating, chicken, fish, beef, all the proteins, shrimp, pork. And then the grains were white rice, brown rice, quinoa, sweet potato, whole grain breads, and then any vegetable except corn. You can eat as many vegetables as you want. And so we were all about the portions there. We learned that from Jamie. And the weight just started coming off, just walking and eating properly and taking our NeoLife. It was incredible. And like she said, it was a quick turnaround on my blood pressure. Again, my body was able to correct things through the right nutrition. And my blood pressure is the best. My blood pressure is around 125/73 now on average. Not as good as hers, but it's pretty darn good. And my resting heart rate is 60. That's of an athlete. I'm an athlete, guys. So and again, I just started going into the gym like 3 weeks ago, and now I did some once a week men's workout group outside. Which was more calisthenic type of things and, little things at home, but most of it was walking, and 85% of it's going to be your nutrition. So that's the whole journey on the weight loss side, and incredible celebrations from NeoLife, letting you enter a free program, a 90-day challenge. We won that. That was incredible, and which motivated us to go on to the 1 year, and we won that. And a quick story about that with Kendra, since she's on here. We went to go check out the pool. They were hiding us at the Westin at a hotel in Nashville to keep it secret. And my main contact was Jessica, paid for the whole win and everything, the 1 year challenge win. And so when we get to the hotel, we're like, let's go check out the pool, because we weren't going to meet them until the next day. But let's go check out the pool and the weight room and all that. So we go down there and Jen and Johnny are gonna go swimming and I'm like, I'm gonna go hit the weights for like 20, 30 minutes. And I go in there and there's somebody on the pull-up bar just doing these pull-ups like it's nothing, right? Boom, boom. And I can tell it's a female. She's boom, boom. And then all of a sudden I hear somebody say, hey, John. And Jessica pops up and she was taller than I expected, you know, and she's like, hey, John. I'm like, hey, Jessica. I recognized her face. And then Kendra just lets go of the bars and jumps down like nothing. And she's like, hey, John, you know, it was so nice to meet him that way. But I felt the need to like tuck my tail in and just leave because I knew I could not do what Kendra was doing. But that, you know, she's very impressive when it comes to working out and all that good stuff. But also very kind. They were so kind to us. So I encourage everybody to get into those challenges. And we've had so many people that Jamie's helped us with too, with friends and stuff like that. And that won the 90-day challenges. And we're hoping that some of them will win the 1 year too. One's down 75 pounds, another one's down 55 pounds. They have a few months to go. And there's other stories too, but just really incredible. We changed a lot of lives, drastically changed our lives, but changed a lot of lives too. And that's when the light bulb went off with us. And we're like, wow, we started sharing with people and it just naturally, you know, people are, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then we get them on these health talks with Jamie and Matt and we just kept on doing that. And we started getting more intentional when December, January came around, which is a big time right now. This is like huge time. So this was last year, December 27th, I think was the first health talk that we did with Jamie and Matt. And we just, you know, we invited like 10, 15 people. I think 7 showed up, 6 signed up the next day. And then 1 signed up a week later, probably waiting for a paycheck. And then we did it again and again. And we had a nice little run and then it just became steady throughout the year. And that was amazing. So I think we became director around February or March. So within 3 months of being intentional, 2 or 3 months of being intentional. But what I really want, you know, I think that's important, you know, and it's exciting and all that. But I think the really important part to talk about though is that this is more of it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, you know. Anything that we do in life, whether it's weight loss, whether it's our relationship with our family or our business, is always going to be a marathon. It's going to be a long game. And we're going to have these little goals, small goals in between all that. But in there, you're going to have, we watched a great video Jen shared with me yesterday, which I love. I'm just so proud of the leader that she's become. And she's teaching me things, you know, and I've learned from a lot of people, but I mean, I'm just so impressed with my wife. She's more of an introvert, but now she's like this, she's coming out of her shell. And she shared a great video that we're going to embed in the chat. And it was with Denzel Washington. It was called Fall Forward. And it really, you know, it's something I believe and listen to in a lot of different ways, but I thought it was really good to share that today that, you know, we've stumbled in our business. We've stumbled in our weight loss. But like Denzel Washington says in the video, fall forward, don't fall backwards. You know, just it's easier to pick yourself up. If you think about it he didn't say this in the video, but I thought about it. If you fall forward, it's a lot easier to pick yourself up off the ground, right? Than versus falling backwards on your butt. Always fall forward. It's not the end. It's not a failure. It's just a stumble. It's a learning block, a learning curve, if you will. So whether you're losing weight and you're down 30 pounds or 10 pounds or 50 pounds and you still have more to go and you have a fall, show yourself a lot of grace in everything that you do in your life. Show yourself a lot of grace because everybody here, Bob Pearson, Kendra, I'm sure has her own stories. I've heard one of them about posture, but I won't share the whole story on that. But it was very funny. And I love that about NeoLife, about Bob and Ellen, Nicole, and Jamie and Matt and Kendra. I've met the most incredible people in this business in NeoLife that have the greatest humility and taught me what type of leader I want to be. But show yourself a lot of grace, you know, when you stumble and fall this business is not about one person or 1 pound or, you know, one day. It's a long game. And we got our whole lives ahead of us, especially because we're on NeoLife. We got a lot longer life. So, you know, make sure that you always remember that there's going to be a bad day and maybe even a bad week, but fall forward, you know, and I'll let Jen jump in there on the business side. No, she doesn't like to talk much, you know, so she's probably thankful for me that I do, but I'm I don't know, Jen, talk about some of that, about, the
Well,
challenges
for
and.
me, I think because I'm such an introvert, it is hard for me just to like go out and like talk, like he'll talk to anybody. He'll talk to anybody at the grocery store. I'm not that type of person. I'm more of a once I get to know you type person, then I will, talk and this and that. So I'm really trying to break that a bit and break that little bit of uncomfortableness. I'm getting better. I will start conversations with people I don't know, which to me is a big win. But I do think that one of the most important things in this business is starting conversations with people. And I think it's easier for me now because I feel so strong about the company because of how it has changed our lives so much. I mean, our son is also on the Liquivite and this
Vitamin
kid
C.
and the vitamin C, and he used to get sick
Shakes.
and shakes
Yeah.
all the time. I mean, I would joke around that somebody would sneeze 2 blocks away and now he's got their virus. I mean, he literally was
Hospital
sick
trips. Yeah.
all the time. He has not been sick since he started on Liquivite over a year ago. I mean,
It's
kids
incredible.
are coming, we're getting letters sent home from school about this one has the flu or RSV or COVID and this, nothing, not a sniffle. It's been,
It's incredible.
it's amazing. So for me, like I said to him, I want to share this with like all the parents because I'm like, look, your kids could have this, so that kind of gets me excited.
That was an aha moment. And to go on to what Josh was saying and Bethany, that it was an aha moment yesterday. We're like, we need to just start doing a lot of that too, because parents are, always complaining. We hear it all the time.
Yeah.
And we need to, and we just started sharing with a few different people with just Liquivite, because when the kids are healthy, the parents are going to be, wow, what is this stuff? Who is this company? And now you're going to get the parents as a customer too. So it's just another way to get in conversation with people.
Yeah. So that's my thing that I'm working on is, getting out of my comfort zone. Next week, I'm going to some kind of a cookie exchange with a bunch of people that I've never met before. So I'm going to take that and run with it and hopefully, share my story and get people interested and excited about it. And so, I mean, that's my thing, I guess, with like the business is really just start the conversation and, be excited.
Jamie and Matt, we were joking around, and one day we were together and they called Jen, Jamie. At that point, I think Jen had like 3 people enroll in a row versus me, I was dry for the week or whatever, the day. We've had 3 people a day, 5 people a day. It's been sometimes crazy and fun.
We get competitive. I'm like, all right, well then I have to get one if he didn't get.
And so we started getting, so all this competitive came out in her, and she's like, so she had 3, and then Jamie called her the goat, and she didn't even know. She thought she was calling her a goat, like an actual goat who eats grass, right? She said, why is she calling me a goat? I really like Jamie. Why is she? So anyway, she called her the goat, and I said, why is she the goat? I'm like, you know how much it took me to get her going in this whole thing because of the other company? I'm like, I really had to whisper a lot in her. I'm like the Jen whisperer, right? And then Matt came to my defense and he goes, she's the goat, but you're the goat herder. So I got so then they made t-shirts for us, but so it's been a good fun, but it's been a good, healthy back and forth. And my wife has been equally such an important part of our business too. She definitely, has brought as many people to the table and helped a lot of people as I have. But the best thing I could say is every day when you wake up, because I want to be respectful of time here and leave a few minutes for questions. But every day what we do is part of everything that you do in this life is going to be a mental game. And it's always about wiring your brain, and you got to do it every day because there's a lot of outside influences of negativity, So I wake up every day and I start off with a podcast or a great song. I love that you opened up with Jesus today, Bob. I mean, that's really been a really important thing in our spiritual life lately is our faith journey. And so we'll start off with a great song, a great podcast, the videos like we're going to post in here. And wire your brain every day, and over time it'll become a habit, that you just get up and your goals will be more geared towards what you're focused on. So what we focus on, what we get, the seeds we sow is the crop we reap. But that is a big tip that really helped us a lot, even when we had our little slumps and our periods of what's going on. You feel like you're in the desert. you know, with your business or whatever, even sometimes in your health, you're not, the scale's not moving. Just keep on falling forward, wire your brain every day, and stay around the campfire of great people like this. And you'll see that it's going to go in waves, and you're going to have these little dips in your business, but you're going to keep on going upward and stay focused, fall forward. And, thank you so much, Bob, for having us on here. We are so honored to be with all of you. And who was it that was sitting outside? Barbara. Barbara, we would like to be Facebook friends with you. We've learned in NeoLife, you make a lot of friends all over the country, and you don't need Airbnbs anymore, because we've been invited to everybody's house. It's been crazy. And we haven't yet taken up anybody on it, but we definitely want to be friends with Barbara, because she's somewhere warm and we're not right now. So
Well,
Anyways.
quickly, this is just for Kendra to see that word team vacation. That's all
Yes.
I'm saying.
We'll see you there. They're definitely going to Hawaii. So that's one of our goals this year. So anyways, Bob, just to wrap it up, I want to open it up for a couple of minutes of questions. I have a clock going. Alan Blaine has taught me about the clock. So I want to open it up for any questions for Jen and I.
Yeah, we got 2.5 minutes, and I just wanted to comment that Jen's going to a cookie exchange, so that's a nutrition oriented meeting too, right?
Yes.
Okay, anyway, who else wants to ask this amazing couple a question or two? You guys have inspired us a lot, I tell you. Yeah, seeds we sow is the crop we reap. That's a John Winters quote.
I think it might even be from the Bible or something. I don't know.
And I saw Jamie posted, GOAT means greatest of all time.
Yes. That was the Michael Jordan, if anybody really wants to know, in the basketball world,
Okay.
that's our generation.
Okay. I saw Jamie put that in the chat. Who else has a question they want to ask? John and Jen have just been so phenomenal. Who else wants to, anybody want to ask them a question? I'm so impressed. Their health is so much better, but also they got a business out of it and a tool to help change other lives. You heard they had one lost 55 pounds, didn't you guys say?
73 and 85. So it's like
No.
yeah. So 50, one's at 50 right now, another one's at 75. And then we have one who's in really great shape, and he had to lose 45, but he's in great shape. And then Aunt Dorothy, she's at 55 pounds in Alabama. That's our friend's aunt. Yeah, we've had a total of 6 90-day challenge winners in the last year. Out of one was all 4 in 1 quarter. It was crazy. And again, thank you to Matt and Jamie for teaching us all about nutrition too, about how to eat, what to put on our plate.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's been incredible just to see their lives change. And that will be the last thing I'll leave you with, is relationship is everything. That's something we learned through Bob and so many, that business is second. Relationships are always going to be first in this business. That worry more about people in their highs and lows, worry about them and what they need versus business. Always put the relationship first, and the business will follow, because they'll trust you and they'll know that you have their best interest at heart. So anyways, thank you guys.
Thank you. I'm going to say the relationships and the affection between you and your sponsor. When you were on stage at the Wisdom Builder retreat, I was probably, I don't know, maybe 70 feet from Jamie. Jamie and Matt were over in that, and I was in this corner of the room towards the front next to Kevin and Bethany, and I could see the tears in Jamie's eyes when you were talking. So it just showed how the joy and the warmth and the satisfaction of helping a friend change their life. I could see her tears from where I was. I mean, that's beautiful. Anybody got a question, or we're going to move on? Anybody else? Okay, well, Jen and John, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys so much, and you added so much to our meeting and our team, so thank you. Okay, well, for our next speaker, I don't actually have the privilege of introducing our CEO today. That honor is going to another wonderful member in our team. So I want to tell our CEO right now, since I'm not introducing her, that I'm very, very, very grateful for her taking the time to invest in our team and to come on our team call. We're grateful and honored and ever so thankful. So thank you so much, Kendra. And to introduce Kendra, we have Daniel Hansen doing that. And Daniel is #1 in personal volume in our team this month, as he often is. And he's #2 on the Achievers Board monthly top 20. He's #1 on the quarterly top 20. This guy has talent to burn. He's remarkable, capable individual, highly gifted in business, and he's going to introduce our next guest. So Mr. Daniel Hansen, let's welcome Daniel, and he'll introduce our next guest. And after this guest, we'll have recognition. So Daniel, take it away.
All right, Bob. Yeah, I do have the honor and the privilege of introducing our next speaker. So thank you for that, Bob. She is someone who I know inspires all of us in many different ways, and we're just so blessed to have her as our fearless leader. But she also has just a really big heart for helping people, and just embodies so many qualities that I know we all appreciate. And yeah, so without further ado, please welcome not only a good friend, but also our CEO and CEO of NeoLife, Kendra Brassfield.
Well, thank you, Daniel. That was such a nice introduction. Appreciate it. And so great to be here with all of you this morning. And John, I'm looking forward to our pull-up competition at next Impact Summit. Oh man, hold on. Let me get a sip of my NeoLife tea. Thank goodness it's back. Did anyone else have a little panic when NeoLife tea was out of stock? Yeah. I was actually a little upset when I found out that we went out of stock. I called manufacturers, what is going on? And I was upset until I found out why it happened. I don't know if you heard the story, but so the raw materials, they came in to manufacturing from the supplier, and it was a well-known, trusted supplier, and it had all the documentation. They showed us like it passed all the QC tests. But of course, like we have this policy, trust but verify. And so we do all our own tests again on those raw materials. And guess what? Well, one of them did not pass our quality control standards. And it wasn't anything like health harming, but it didn't have the right levels of the good stuff. Don't ask me what the good stuff is. I forgot. It was a big name. But our first and most important company value is absolute integrity. And I love that because it makes decisions pretty easy. It's like, okay, should we sell this? Well, absolutely not, because that's not absolute integrity. And Bob asked me to share about like what makes our products different or better. And this is a big reason why I can confidently say we have the best products and they work. It's because of our commitment to quality. And now a lot of companies say they test their products, but unfortunately, most don't do their own tests. They take the supplier's word for it. And actually, Dr. Susan Beck, I don't know if she wants me to share this while we're recording, but I'm going to do it anyways. Don't tell her. So she told a story at a leadership summit this last time about how in one of her past careers was as a consultant. And what she would do is go to nutrition companies and audit their manufacturing practices, checking if they have like GMP standards, good manufacturing practice standards. And guess what? Of the dozens of companies she audited, not a single one of them met those standards. And she told this one story of this prenatal product. So there was a company selling a prenatal on store shelves, and they come to find out they actually had a problem happen in manufacturing. I don't know how a problem like this happens, but somehow a men's like male enhancement product got into the prenatal bottles. kind of scary, right? So she flagged this up. She was like, guys, you are selling something that's actually dangerous for women if they're pregnant or trying to become pregnant. Like they shouldn't be taking this stuff. It's for men. And the company went, oh, whoops. And then do you know what they did after that? Nothing. They decided that it had been selling on the store shelves for so long that if they were to go and recall them, like it was too late. They said it would be too big of a blow to their reputation. And so they just kept selling it and went through the stock and then fixed it later. But that's scary, right? Like we never want to be the kind of company that lets something like that happen. And I think that is so important that we understand that it's not just like, of course, we have proprietary formulas designed by incredible scientific minds, but we also go above and beyond on the quality side. Like we test the seeds, the crops, the environment where our whole food ingredients are grown, and then we retest the raw materials. We test the finished product once it's in the bottle. And that's why we can say with confidence, we're farm to table. And that's why they work so well. That's why we heard stories like Jen and John and Bethany and Josh. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. I mean, hearing the positive transformations that happen through NeoLife, that just like charges me up. It's the most important part and my favorite part about what we do. Okay, so this morning I was kind of thinking back to when I first joined NeoLife, and one of the first trips that I took once I was part of the company was to visit Bob and his team in Eugene, Oregon. And so I consider you guys like my OG NeoLife family. And I was so excited to get to know Bob, but so nervous. And Bob, I wish you could be a fly on the wall just to hear how my dad talks about you. He thinks so highly of you and just has so much respect for you. So I remember feeling really nervous, like, okay, here we go. I'm going to go speak at this event for this big wig in NeoLife. And I hope he doesn't get mad at me because of how awful I am. Like my presentations were pretty darn awful, especially at the beginning. But come to find out, Bob is one of the kindest and most encouraging people you'll ever meet. And even though like I had met a lot of successful business people by that time, I still had this kind of preconceived notion of what a leader looks like kind of serious, heavy-handed, macho, maybe a little stuffy. And yet, time and time again, in both our NeoLife family and outside of it, that's just not real. That's TV. I guess there's a few like that, but not most. In fact, actually, last night, I went to a Christmas party for part of the Young Presidents Organization, and there was like 100+ CEOs in the Bay Area, most of them pretty large businesses. And yes, there was a couple stuffy ones, but most of them, and especially the ones with the biggest businesses, I would describe just like I described Bob. Some of the kindest and most encouraging people you'll ever meet. So it's no wonder Bob's actually doubled his business since I've known him. He's very humble. You won't hear him brag about that, but pretty impressive, right? And of course, in NeoLife, we heard it said so many times already, we don't succeed in NeoLife alone. This is a relationship business. And he has all of you, an incredible team behind him, some of the most kindest and encouraging people you'll ever meet. I would describe all of you that I know that way. And you're CEOs of your own businesses and the kind of leaders who can grow it big if you want. I have 100% confidence in that. So now Bob asked me to talk about how to help people grow their businesses this morning. And I was like, Bob, that's a really broad topic. Like we're not all in the same boat. You're all unique. You're in different places in your business. And it really depends on what you want out of this, right? And so I first want to share something that I personally like to revisit about every quarter. And I don't know where I picked it up, but I love it. It's this life assessment checklist. So 3 simple questions in case you're interested in doing this for yourself. So it's number 1, what's right? So write down all the things in life that are right. So whether it's in your faith, your family, friendships, finances, career, your fun, fitness, maybe your health, or the impact that you're having. And then those things that are right, keep them. They're good. And then number 2 is what's wrong. All those same categories in your faith, family, friendships, finances, fitness, fun, health, impact. What's wrong? What's not quite where you'd like it to be? And then remove it or change it. And then the third one is what is confused or lacks clarity in any of those areas, and make a plan to figure it out. I like to do this and it kind of gives you a baseline, like how am I doing? Do I have room for improvement in any of the really important areas of my life, like in faith, family? Fun is important too. Friendships, finances is a big one for a lot of us. And if you do have any room for improvement, most of us are going to have some in the finances or the impact. Am I making the impact I want to have? And am I at a financial level that I want to be? And not the financial level that maybe we've settled for, but like, where did you at one time when you were dreaming big, where did you see yourself at? I love how Stephen, he shares that we all have this like preferred future and I don't know what he calls it, our current reality, I think. And he says there's this tension and one of them has to give. And a lot of us, we lower our preferred future to release the tension between where we are today and where we want to be. But instead, we need to bring up our current reality. We need to do what it takes to make sure that we're not giving up on the things that we once hoped for, because we're made for so much more. And NeoLife is a vehicle. It's not the only vehicle, but it is a vehicle that is a very good one to help you get to many of those future goals. And it's not just for you. Like I like to remind myself, like what we're doing, it's not just for us, because we're going to see more and more people who are ready for an opportunity like NeoLife, who need an opportunity like NeoLife. I don't know if you follow what's happening in the economy, but to me, it's like, okay, I think we're already kind of in a recession. The Fed Biden just doesn't want to declare it yet. But I was talking to a friend who's also part of this Young Presidents organization, and he founded one of the largest junk collection companies in the US. And I was asking him how his business is doing, and he said, well, it's actually pretty down right now. And he said, actually, my type of business, so you call him up and his company, and they come collect your junk. I don't want to say the name of it, but you probably know of it. And he said, our business is a leading indicator of what's happening in the economy. Like people will only pay for you to collect their junk if they have a little extra money, but they're going to do it themselves if they don't. And so I think what we're seeing is layoffs are increasing. And more people are going to be so in need, and we have a solution. Our business thrives in both good and bad economic times. And especially during bad economic times, we have this window of opportunity to really grow and really impact people. And now, okay, so like when you go to the doctor and I've never had a scan, but if you go to the doctor and you want to find out if there's something wrong with you, I assume they give you a scan, they listen to your heart, right? They do all these tests and they ask you questions. And so if any of you are like, okay, my business is not where I want it to be, then typically what we will do at the company, if we were able to have a one-on-one with you, what do? We scan your business. We look at your business profile. I don't know if you know how to find that, but it's in your back office. You go to resources, reports, and then you click the button and it's going to give you something called your business profile. And it's a snapshot of what's happened in the last 12 months in your business. And from there, we can go through all the key indicators, the key measures of how it's tracking. And then we'll ask questions. We'll look through that and ask questions. So I want to go through some of that. Maybe, hopefully it'll help you analyze your own businesses. We're not meeting one-on-one, but okay. So number one, I'm going to give you a question checkup list. Number one is, are you bringing new people into your store? So like sometimes we can think of our business like a store. So take Walmart, for instance, picked a random one. If they don't have people walking through their doors into their store, do you think they're going to have a successful quarter or a successful year? Probably not. Or whether it's an online or offline store. No, you need to have customers. No, excuse me. In NeoLife, you are the store. And so the way that you bring people into your store is not usually physically, you can't have a physical one, but it's by talking to them. It's by sharing. And so are you bringing new people into your store? Are you talking to people? Are you saying hello? Just starting conversations? And are you putting yourself in position to meet people? You know, sometimes we can say like, oh yeah, we're talking to everyone we're around. But if we don't put ourselves in position to meet people, then we don't have anyone to talk to. And well, actually one of the questions maybe at the end, I would love to know from Jen and John, like, where are you meeting these 90-day challenge winners? Like, that'd be so cool to hear. And how many people are you talking to? Are you talking to them daily? We have this like guideline, at least 2 people a day, every day. And that doesn't mean you have to present the business to 2 people a day, every day. It just means you're making that connection. In fact, sometimes if we don't make the connection first, it's kind of awkward if we try to give a business presentation before we actually know anything about the person. But checkup question number 2, are you following up? So this can actually be for both new people that you're meeting, as well as people you already have in your organization. The future of your business is in the follow-up. So if we don't follow up, it's literally the equivalent of taking all those conversations, all of that hard work in the past, and just throwing it in the trash. And I'll tell you why. Okay, do you know at what point are most sales made? Is it made on the first encounter, or the second, or the third, or the fourth? 80% of sales are made between the 5th to the 12th contact. The 80% of sales, the 5th to the 12th contact. In other words, if we don't follow up with the people we're talking to, we're literally going to lose 80% of sales, and we might not even realize it. I love Josephine. I don't know, Josephine Marengu. I don't know if some of you have met her. She's a wonderful lady, originally from Africa, and she talks about how she's so thankful to her upline for introducing her to NeoLife. It completely transformed her health. She was so sick before, and she actually got to the point where she almost blocked the lady who was sharing with her on WhatsApp because she followed up so many times. But today she got to Sapphire Director in 6 months. She's on fire, and she is just, her life's been completely transformed. And so sometimes we do need to bug people a little. And Jen and John and Jamie and Matt's upline is Alan and Nicole, who are great examples also of why we need to follow up. They were product users for 15 years before they decided to build a business. 15 years, and now they're president's team members. And Josh actually did a lot of following up, a lot of bugging of them, and that's how they came into the business. It was much more than 12 times. Okay, so are you following up with people? Are you following up again and again and again because you know you can make a positive difference in their lives? And so how do we follow up? Sometimes that's the tricky part, is like, okay, so I know I need to, but it's intimidating to reach out to a new person. I know I, in building my business, I was terrible at following up. I threw everything in the trash for a while. But I mean, new products, it's a great way. And Upbeat is still very new. We can send a video, we can go on the Team NeoLife app, send a video, or just call someone. And if we do send a video, how many people have sent one before to a prospect? Raise your hand. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. A lot of us have sent a video. Now, it's great if you say, oh, what did you like about it? Or something like that. But what if they go negative? I always like to prepare for the worst. So what do we say if they go negative? Because that can be the scary part, right? If they're like, well, I was not impressed. That health talk sucked. We can say, oh my goodness, I never hear that. I'm so sorry. But just a question, what were you hoping to see? Like, oh my goodness, I've never heard that before. I'm so sorry, but what were you hoping to see? And sometimes when we respond with a little bit of tact, we realize that maybe they were looking for something completely different, and we can address that. We can say, oh, well, you know what? I'm sorry, I sent you the wrong video. Let me tell you about how we can address what you're looking for, how we can fill that need. New information is the best thing for your business. New information, because we can go and update people. Like anything you learn, you come here today in this meeting, if maybe you heard Jen and John Winter's story and you're like inspired, I know I am, but that is something you can now take and use as an excuse to go call people and be like, oh my gosh, I just heard this incredible story of this couple, and goodness gracious, I want to tell you about it. And they might get excited about that. It's an excuse to call. The best thing for your business is new information. Don't let it go to waste. If you're at an event or you're reading a great book, watching personal development, take notes, write down names of people that pop into your head who you can share that with. And that can be prospects, that can be people on your team. Just make any excuse to reach out and follow up, or just call them and say, hey, how you doing? You popped into my head today. People love that. And it's genuine. Upbeat is a great one. I hesitate to talk about it. I feel sometimes I don't want to say anything inappropriate, but we have some incredible stories coming out of Upbeat. Let's see. So it is great for energy. Our fitness blend is clinically proven to increase stamina, endurance, and it even showed in the study that your heart didn't have to work as hard during exercise. I mean, pretty cool. So I gave it to a friend to test. I wanted to make sure it worked before we launched it. And I was like, they didn't have a label. I was like, don't tell anybody about this. I just want you to take it. I didn't tell her what it was. She was going to go play a basketball tournament. And she was like, what did you give me? She's like, I want to buy some. That was incredible. Like, I was not tired. I could have played a whole nother tournament and everybody else was exhausted. And now Ashley also did a test in the beginning, before we launched, with some people in her marriage retreat that she hosts. And so there's these couples and they're having some trouble in the bedroom. It wasn't because of lack of desire. It was just physical trouble. And so she gave them 7 sample sticks and she said, okay, go try it. The first night they called her, or the morning after the first night, they called her back and they're like, oh my goodness, this stuff works. She said, but we'll see if it still works. And then every morning for the next 7 days, they called her and were like, this is incredible. Like, this is a solution. It's saving our marriage pretty much. So there's some good benefits there. There's also benefits on the female side. Men, close your ears. Some women have said it turned their desert into an oasis. That's all I'll say. Okay, moving on. Now when I was talking to Bob preparing for this meeting, we had a great conversation and he asked me a question. He was like, do you think home meetings are old fashioned? I was like, no, not at all. I don't know about you, but when I get together with friends, I mean, 90% of the time it's in person. It's in person. Like when you want to go have fun with your friends, do you Zoom mostly? Probably not, unless they're in a different area. And don't get me wrong, Zoom is a great tool. I love meetings like this. Like we can reach more people. We can catch up with people who don't live near us. But that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with a good old-fashioned or not old-fashioned get together in person. And it can be so much more fun too. Like I would love to be able to sit and chat and just get to know all of you on a personal level. And so please don't think that they're old-fashioned. I wouldn't call it a home meeting personally. I would say you want to come have a get together. And I'll touch on that in a moment, but another checkup question. Are you getting sales and signups? So if you look at the people you're talking to, like write down the numbers when you talk to someone and then write down your ratio. Like for every, I don't know, 3 people or every 10 people I talk to, I'm getting 1 signup or 2 signups. And you'll notice as you practice, that ratio gets better and better. And if it's not getting better, you know, you can work on some maybe changing what you're saying, and then you can measure that. We can judge by results. But I want to address one thing, which is price objections. So I've noticed that in my own business and watching other people build their businesses, that price objections are something that are best handled before they come up. And so in the process of as somebody's getting ready to buy, like we can forget sometimes, especially if we're in a difficult financial situation ourselves, we tend to like have these glasses on and we got a little poop in our glasses. And so if we look around, we're like, everybody has a little poop. And we're thinking like, oh, they can't afford the products. Oh no, they can't afford the products. And when someone's ready to buy, not that it's poo, that if you're in a bad financial situation, I use the wrong analogy, but anyway, it's foggy. So when they're getting ready to buy, maybe like they don't have that and we can't see that they don't have that price objection and we're putting it on them sometimes. And so just as an example, I remember when I was getting started, I met someone and I was on the phone, my dad was listening. And when I got off the phone, he giggled and he was laughing because I didn't realize what I was doing, but I was talking to them. I was like, okay, yeah, okay, great. You want to try this? All right. Oh, and you mentioned that like you struggle with whatever. Let me add some of this to your product. I think you really love this. And so I ended up building like $1,000 order for them. And then I was like, okay, give me your credit card information. All right, perfect. Well, it'll be to you in 5 to 7 business days. Thank you so much. I'm going to call you back to see how you like it. And I hung up. And my dad's like, you didn't tell them how much it costs? And I was like, no, they didn't ask. Like sometimes I knew those people were in a situation where they didn't really care. Like they just wanted to have good help. And we can't forget that sometimes we put our own stuff on other people. But for those that do have a genuine price objection, like they genuinely feel like I don't want to spend too much money, I think there's one question we can ask or a couple questions that we can ask that can help the process. So it's like, if I had a magic genie and I could give you exactly what you're looking for in these products, what would that look like? What would that look like to you? If I had a magic genie, could just rub the deal. What's that called? Rub the genie thing and just be like, poof, you have the exact results you're looking for. What would that look like? What would those results look like? And then when they respond, you could say, well, you know what? That's really exciting because I think these products could actually do that for you and give a story behind it. And then ask if that did help, what would that be worth to you? if it did help with that problem you have or that benefit you're looking to see, what would that be worth to you? It's so important that we don't forget we're not selling the products or the ingredients or that thing. What we're selling is the transformation, what they're going to have if they use that product or if they grow a business. And our attitudes and our actions and our words, they're going to frame the way that our prospects view the products and view the business. And so if we say that they're expensive, or if we insinuate, they're going to think that they're expensive. Or as a promoter, like me, I mean, yeah, so I already mentioned all that other stuff. It's probably because if we're struggling, then we put that off on people. But our products are not expensive. They are not. They're actually cheap for what's in them if you compare them to the crap that's at Costco or Walmart. But that's why it's so important we get around people. We come to meetings like this so that we can get like little tips and tricks. Instead of focusing on price, we focus on result. We focus on transformations like Jen and John had, or Bethany and Josh, and we learn how to be more effective. Okay. Now, one other caveat. By the way, if everyone you're talking to is giving you a genuine price objection and they cannot afford the products, like, don't stop talking to them, but also you need to expand your demographic a little. It's a really hard road. I know it's like kind of crass to say, but it's a hard road if you're only talking to people who have actually no money. Like we can help those people too. And we can tell them you can get your products free if you share. But if you really want to expand your business, you need to talk to other people too. Okay. Another great one, if it's for the business and you say, like, if I had a magic genie for business and I could give you exactly what you wanted to see in a business, what would that look like? Okay. Whatever they say. Oh man, based on what you said, I think this is a fit for you because. Based on what you said, I think this is a fit for you because. And really quick, I don't know how long do I have, Bob?
We're at 30 minutes now, so we're getting
Okay.
towards the end.
Wrap it up. Just want to say the word because is so powerful. There's a book called Influence, and it talks about that if you give someone a reason, they're so much more likely to do something. And then, are you expanding through referrals would be another one. Are you looking at your new promoter and club member report and checking in to see like how many days it's been since those new people you've introduced in the business have ordered? Because we have a responsibility when we introduce someone to actually make sure that we're taking care of them. It's not like a love them and leave them type situation. We need to take care of them. And people got into this business for a reason or ordered products for a reason. And if they haven't ordered, maybe it's because we haven't followed up. So the new promoter club member report is an awesome one. Okay. I'll wrap up by saying, going into the holidays, this is such a great time to expand your business. Don't forget that. We're around so many more people, family, friends, and it's such a good opportunity. My favorite way to introduce new people who I meet in the holidays to the products is to just bring a bunch of Betazyme in my pocket. And I just bring them out at the table and say, who wants big poops? And it works. I did that at Thanksgiving, and one of the guys, he came to breakfast the next morning. He's like, it worked. I want to buy some of those from you. But anyways, and the other question would be, are you keeping people around your campfire? It's so important we remember that we have to make our culture, we have to build our own culture around us. We have to keep people around our campfire. And as a leader, that's so important. That's team events, company events, meetings like this, just get-togethers at people's houses. Make sure people don't feel like they've disappointed you or feel unwanted because they'll leave. But just remember, everyone on your team is important. And if you make them feel good, they're going to stay forever. And their motivations can change, their circumstances can change. But if you make sure they're around your campfire and not someone else's, because when that light bulb flips, when that situation happens in their life, they're going to come to you if you continue to bring them in and make them feel loved. Bob asked me to talk about Rise and wellness kickoff topics. Do you still want a quick mention of that?
Why don't you make a quick pitch for that, because that could be massively helpful for all of us, right, Kendra? I mean, huge. So please do that.
Okay, awesome. So Rise is, you got to be there. All business builders, all promoters need to be there. It's going to be super exciting. First of all, we have a lot of new exciting programs and incentives that are really designed to put more money in new promoters' pockets right up front. I think that's something we're looking at, is we need to get them earning fast. And we've made some changes that are going to do that. And so we're going to go through that at that event. We're going to have great promoter leaders speaking. We're about to announce them on people talking about expanding your team, leveling up, stepping up, powerful promoter stories. And so the combination of just hearing from these promoters and hearing the changes that are coming that you can really take advantage of are going to be important and exciting. Now, following that is the wellness kickoff. And so the business one is designed for all of our business leaders to get together and plan for the future and see how we can maximize our impact, expand our businesses. And then the wellness kickoff is something designed specifically for product focused people. And so we split them up this year. The wellness kickoff is going to feature 4 SAV sessions. John Miller is going to be talking about how to jumpstart your metabolism and health goals. Dr. Todd Miller, awesome new addition to the SAB. He's going to talk about the keys to achieving transformational weight loss. Dr. Susan Beck is going to talk about how to up your energy, stamina, fitness, circulation, obviously upbeat, but a really nice quick presentation on that. It will be shareable. And then Dr. Liz Applegate. She is like the most, in her college class at UC Davis, she has the largest following, the largest registration in her nutrition class of any professor in the US. Like, she is renowned. She even does like health coaching for the Warriors basketball team, a lot of professional teams. She's amazing. And so she's going to talk about how to build in healthy habits, how to treat yourself like a performance athlete. And so we're really excited for all of those sessions at both Rise and Wellness Rally. I hope to see you there. Don't forget, even if you're having a watch party, make sure everyone registers, because we're going to have some really cool giveaways and prizes. Like last time we had like a laptop, Apple iPods, those kind of things. But anyways, thank you so much for allowing me to be on this call with you all. I feel so blessed for the opportunity to partner with you. And we're going to be the biggest force behind ending the trend of poor health, financial stress. So thank you, friends. Love you all. God bless.
Thank you, Kendra. We really appreciate you investing in us and your time and enthusiasm and inspiration. Thank you so much. You guys give her a hand, everybody. Thank you so much, Kendra. Appreciate it greatly. Thank you. Okay, you guys. Daniel's really good at recording these, so if you guys want to share this link, John and Jim's amazing testimony and Kendra's helpful ideas. Daniel usually has it within 48 to 72 hours up on YouTube. So, get a hold of me if you want me to send you that link. And then also, if you can't be on at 11, like 30 minutes from now, please get a hold of me too, so I can send you a copy of Jamie and Matt's presentation. Very, very gifted communicators, excellent. And they know how to build a business quickly, which they'll be with us January 7th for our next meeting. But you guys, if you can't watch at 11 today, please get a hold of me so I can send you the link that we're going to watch at 11, because it'd be helpful to have that under your belt to see how they do it, how they've built quickly, strongly. And it's a tool that we could all learn from and use in our presentations. And one last thing on Kendra, and then we'll go to recognition. You know, I was very, very blessed and privileged to get to talk to her earlier in the week because, you know, she was asking, hey, what kind of things should we cover here? And I've had, you know, you guys know I'm not techie and I don't know all the Facebook stuff and Instagram stuff and all that. And so that's why I was a little bit embarrassed and apologetic about home meetings, because our whole team was built on home meetings. And the last director that we built and became Sapphire by God's grace was John and Debbie down in Grants Pass. And Debbie might have a better recollection, but it seems like I went down there, to me, maybe 12, 15 times we do meetings. And sometimes John and Debbie would only have one or two. Sometimes they have a whole house full. But, you know, that's the main way I know to do it. And now, and she said, no, if I'm going to a friend's, just like she said, I don't want to do it on Zoom. I want to go in person. So that was pretty comforting and assuring, because I've been told, hey, you're doing it wrong, blah, blah, blah. And now Kevin and Janet are knocking on my door, asking me to come to their house 2 to 3 times a week to build their business. Just kidding, Kevin. But that's the way I know how to do it. You know, I just did lots of one-on-ones. Every time I tried to do a group, I got thinking back, I had a hard time getting a group together. Almost all my meetings could have been held in my bathroom and there would have been enough seating for everyone that came. Okay. So I was never really great at getting a big group. Could do one-on-ones, but you know, some of you are, and we can build it just with one-on-ones actually. And then Louis would say, if he had 2 or 3 or 4, he'd say, who wants to share this content with other friends? And then he would try to get another presentation out of that. But bottom line, Kendra says, no, that's fine. Do the home presentations. And that made me feel really good because that actually is how our whole team was built. Leslie, would you agree? Raise your hand if, you know, remember we used to do all those in-home meetings, Les? And I think we need to definitely get back to that. Anyway, so, and then we can talk more at our January 7th meeting also about getting groups together for the 2 rallies, the business one on the 14th and the product one on the 28th. And thank you, Kendra, for telling us about the speakers on the 28th. Thank you for doing that, and the 12th, because you know, that's nice to be able to tell it's going to be about weight loss and good habits and circulation, stamina, energy. That was helpful. Thank you for doing that, Kendra. Appreciate that info. So right now, you guys, I just remind you the meeting at 11, which is in about I guess 26 minutes or so. You go, it's a different Zoom, 963-644-1807, password ATP. We're going to show Matt and Jamie's excellent, superb presentation. And then if you want that link, I can send it to you. And I would encourage that, especially those of you that can't, if you might not be able to be on, call me, we'll get that link to you, because excellent tool. Okay, so now we're going to do recognition to thank everyone who contributed so tremendously last month. And I have quite a list here of wonderful people who contributed. For time's sake, if they're not in the meeting, I'm not going to read their name, but we have 2 brand new senior managers, which are John Hogbin. He's under Mark Ritchie in Iowa. And then we have Joe Schiefelbein here in Eugene. We'll start with Lisa Hansen. She did 1,014 last month. John Hogbin, 1,016. Mary Lou Stevenson, I think may be on. She's in Texas, 1,033. Nancy Reese is on, 1,080 last month. And she's a very good connector. Nancy's really good at contacting people. Joe Schiefelbein at 1,083. Rick and Barbara Bird, 1,112, 1,112. Jenny Knowles, 1,236. Josh and Bethany Fiegels, executive manager, 2004. And they shared the wonderful product testimonies and their review of convention and wisdom builder retreat. Brent and Ramona Chichester, 2007 executive managers. Jolene Cox in Portland, executive manager. She's actually director, but last month in 2012, give Jolene a hand. We're very grateful for Jolene and Dan, tremendous people. Allison Wilson in New York, 2,528. Kevin and Janet Cornelius, my neighbor, 40 miles from here in Philomath, 2,642. And then we have, let's see here. Skip to Dean Vandenberg in LA, 4,075. Mark Ritchie in Iowa, 4,155. Gene Rudgear, 4,344. Gina Ellis in Wisconsin, that's the Hanson team, 4,748. Grateful for, very, very grateful for Gina's contribution. In number 7 for personal volume, Deborah Muzak and John Chambers in Southern Oregon, 5,619 for John and Debbie. And then in number 6 for personal volume, Jamie and Carol Wilson, 5,763. And this is all personal volume. We'll switch to group volume a little bit later. Then we have in number 5, Marilee Blomberg, 5,800. And then in number 4 for personal volume, Leslie Hansen, 7,262 PV. And number 3, Stephanie Beckett, 7,693. And then in number 2 for personal volume, our Caribbean vacationer, I see her on the screen right now, Barbara Chichester, 10,009 points. You guys give Barbara a hand.
Go, Barbara.
Yes, Barbara has a great team in New York and LA. Then in number 1 for personal volume, the guy on the couch next to Leslie there, often number 1, almost always for personal volume, Daniel Hansen, 10,204. And now we'll switch to world team. We have 4 elite world team sapphires here. And then I'm going to read one person who's not world team, but he was director and he had a director under him. So in number 5 is Deborah Muzak, John Chambers in Southern Oregon, 11,382. And then number 4, Stephanie Beckett, 12,037 points. Then Dean Vandenberg in LA, 14,084. Then in number 2, Leslie Hansen with 22,274 points. Victor Pearson had a group on 28,000. And then Marilee Blomberg, number 1, 54,195 points, guys. So we are profoundly grateful and thankful to every one of you on this call. We're so happy to have you with us and they call this being around the campfire. And we're so grateful for everyone who contributed. There's Nancy on the screen right now. And thank you, everybody. And then we'll see you guys at 11. We'll show you Matt and Jamie's excellent presentation at 11. 963 is the Zoom, 644-1807, password ATP. And you guys, thank you so much. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Bob.
All
It
right,
was a
thanks,
great
Bob.
meeting. It was just a fabulous meeting. Thank you so much. So
Yeah.
much.
Thanks, Deb.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Bob.
John and Jen.
Thank you all, speakers.
You guys
Thank
all
you.
have a great
Christmas.
day. Merry Christmas.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry
Christmas.
Merry
Christmas, everyone.
Thank you all.
Hi, Jamie.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Hi, Mary. Thank you, Matt.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Mary. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Thank you,
Bye.
Bob.
See you soon.
Hi, everybody. See you next year.
Okay. Congratulations, Daniel and Les and your team.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, that. And Kevin, that must have been nice to see your daughter and son-in-law sharing some pretty cool, good stuff. And hi, Marilee. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Bob. This is Gina and Yuma. Thank you for inviting me. That was a great presentation.
Okay. What did you like best, Gina, in there?
I really like the testimony. Thank you guys. That's kind of inspiring for me because I've been out of the loop for so long, and I need to get back in there. And this really inspired me a lot. And Kendra's presentation also, and her tips. I need that spark again. I need to get close to these hot coals.
Right, right. Is there any
Thank
chance?
you, Bob.
Oh, you bet. I'm so happy to have you on. Are you able to be on the one in 25 minutes, or are you booked?
No, actually, today's our anniversary. So right now, Rudy and I are about to take off somewhere. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get on that one.
How many years? How many years?
11. Thank God.
Congratulations. And Gina, if I sent the link so you could see it, because these guys have built
Oh,
a
yeah.
really good team. Would
Please
you
do
watch
that.
it? If I
Yes,
send-
of course.
Okay, I will send it
Please
to you.
do.
And thank you for coming on, Gina. It's so good to have you.
Well, good to see everybody too.
Okay, bless you and
Bye-bye. God bless
congratulations
you.
on your anniversary.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Let me see who's still here.
David, good to see you. Nice to see you, Marina.
Nice to see you again, Bob.
Yeah, yeah. And Mary Lou too. Mary Lou's in Texas and she's got an amazing story. Mary Lou, do you want to turn your mic on, just share for a minute or two? Because didn't you get rid of eczema in your scalp? Seems like I remember that had been there forever. Can you unmute Mary Lou? She's still on, but I guess maybe I don't know if she hears me or not, or can't.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. We've got about let me see here. We have about 8 of us still on. Do you want to share? Because I mean,
Well, I can just say that in fact, Steffi was asking me earlier today some questions about different things, and honestly, NeoLife has done so much, and I don't know why. Well, we do know why, because they're just such wonderful products. But I had everything from I had terrible pain. I had it wasn't eczema. It was actually psoriasis, and I had had most of these conditions for years, just all sorts of problems. But I got on the anti-inflammatory, the everything from things for arthritis and salmon oil. And I just gradually, one thing after another, just started helping. And I didn't even realize that my psoriasis was gone until after it was gone. I was on a walker, and one day I was just found myself in the kitchen without my walker. So it's been a life changer for me. And I would love to get going more on the business. And Steffi is really helping recently. So I helping me get charging ahead a little more. So yes, they're wonderful products, period. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. It's been a total game changer for my life, actually. I honestly thought I was not going to live more than 3 years more when I started this. So anyway, and here I am. It's been 5 years now. 5 years now.
How long had the psoriasis been in your scalp?
Oh gosh. Probably since I was 40.
So that's not very long. That's only a year or two.
Yeah, sure. I'm 77 now, Bob. I'm sorry.
Okay. And it had been highly resistant, right, to going away. Is that right?
Oh, there's just so many things. I mean, like I said, I was expecting to die but I didn't want to tell anybody. That was, I hate to say that, and because even as a good Christian, you don't want to admit things like that. But I was having a tough time. So
And that psoriasis is really messy, right? It's wet and gooey and all that.
Yes, it causes thickening of the skin, a cracking, and yes, it is. I had to use ointments all the time. They were trying to keep me from taking steroids because they said once you get over into the steroids, it's pretty much that's what you have to have. And it literally, I did not even realize that it was gone. And it was gone. I even had to wear a little basketball sleeve when I used my the mouse for the computer, because that additional rubbing on the, on the desk would, cause problems. And all of a sudden I just no longer had any problems. That's all. It was gone. It was gone.
Wow. Wow. And how long had you been on the walker?
Well, only about a year and a half, maybe a little more than a year and a half, but it was because I absolutely needed it. I couldn't stand for I couldn't stand for more than just a minute or two. And honestly, I had walked all the way from my bedroom, and my house is not well, you've been at my house.
Yeah.
And I walked all the way from my bedroom to the kitchen and realized I'd left my walker behind. And I was like, what? So yeah, it's so much has changed. I no longer have my back pain. On the 12th day, I no longer had my back pain. And I had endured horrific pain from an accident for 8 years. And it was almost to the very day that I started NeoLife, the eight years, that the exact day that I started my NeoLife. And so it was, and when I read, you sent me a list of 12 people who had had pain, who had their pain alleviated. And I got to the third one and I cried because I could not believe that could happen. And on the 12th day, I had no more pain, no more pain. So
Marina,
it's
incredible.
Yes, no, like I said, it's life-changing. I have a life now, and I honestly, I think I'm going to live to be in my 90s or hundreds. I do. And then I could not imagine more than 3 years on the outside because I was in that poor shape. So, yeah.
I'm just floored. The psoriasis had been there, the gooey, wet, oozy, for maybe 20 to 30 years, right?
Well, yes, and I was even embarrassed to go get my hair cut.
Yes.
I didn't want to go and get my hair cut.
Right.
And honestly, it was so bad at times on the bottoms of my feet, I could hardly walk. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And it just disappeared. It just disappeared.
That is incredible. And then the pain was gone in only 12 days. And that was the pain.
12 days. In fact, every morning I woke up and I went, oh, it's going to be back today. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. And now we're going on 5 years that it's been gone. Well, over 5 years.
That's
Yes.
incredible.
Yes, I know. So it's NeoLife. That's what my son said to me the other day. He said, Mom, you can't, if you open your mouth and you start talking about your supplements. And I said, honey, it's because they've saved my life.
Yeah, you got
That's
a new
why.
life. You're off. And man, thank you for sharing that, Mary Lou. That is just tremendous.
That's awesome.
Well, it was something very special to me, my life, so anyway, and I'm glad that Steffi, I've had anyway, everything's wonderful. Thank you for letting me share.
I appreciate
And
you sharing.
I hope that helps somebody someplace.
I think we'll
Right.
want you to, I hope you can share that in January at our next meeting, the 7th, with the team.
Okay.
Because, I mean, for the psoriasis has been there maybe possibly 30 years. The pain was gone in only 12 days, off not needing the walker. You found yourself in your kitchen without it. I mean, and your
Right.
feet had even hurt just to walk before. And
Oh,
was,
yes.
was that because of neuropathy or was that because of psoriasis on your feet?
It was psoriasis on my feet. And
Wow.
even one of, I believe you all knew Caroline before. She was the one that introduced me to Steffi. And Caroline said that I was more like kind of like walking death. Don't think I'm putting it exactly the same as she put it, but and then all of a sudden I was just a different person. And it wasn't all of a sudden. I mean, it took a few weeks, and then and some of it, I had all my 4 fingers I had locked, and it was 11 months before my fingers unlocked. I can write, and before I was at a point I couldn't even write my name.
Oh my
So
goodness. Oh my
yes.
goodness. Your fingers were locked like from arthritis or something, or?
Yes, 2 on my right hand, 2 on my left hand. They were different things, different, fingers. But I could not write. I was right-handed and I just couldn't write. No, I looked like a kindergartner trying to write my name.
And
It
then
was
did
very
the-
embarrassing.
Did the fingers then straighten out or something, or what happened?
Yeah, well, actually, there's still one one of the fingers on the right hand, left hand is slightly turned to the side, but most people can't even see it when I tell them about it. But no, they just all of a sudden opened up. It was one at a time. The 2 on my right hand happened first, and then and I do yard work. I mow my own lawn, and it's a pretty good sized lawn. You've seen, well, the front side isn't that big, but the backyard is pretty big.
And
And
did you tell me you're 77
yes, I'm 77.
and you're mowing your lawn?
I'm mowing my lawn. That's what even the neighbors said. Oh, please don't do that. I said, I'm sorry, it's my exercise. So anyway,
Mary,
yeah.
Mary, what do you think of that? And David, is that amazing?
Yeah. Bob,
Yeah.
can you and Mary Lou put together a list of what you did for all those amazing results? I'm just so happy for you, Mary Lou.
Well, thank you. But it's honestly not a lot. It was the protein drink. I mean, I'm not going to go into everything, but yes, I can put together a list. And yes, I did have a number of products, but it wasn't that many. It was mainly the anti-inflammatory and I do think the protein drink I still take a protein drink in the morning and in the evening every day. And sometimes I don't feel like it, but I know that it's given me my strength back. I know it has.
Yay.
Yay, I know. It is. Anyway, no, I'll be happy to do that. I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you.
Mary Lou, if you can email that to me, that would be wonderful. And then I can
Oh,
share
sure.
it with Leslie. And I think we should plan on you giving you 3, 4, 5 minutes at the next meeting, if that's okay with you, because that's a remarkable, to say the least.
Okay, well, as long as I know how to use my Zoom, I'm still not a great Zoom user.
Well,
So,
we can hear you perfect, so that's all we need, really. But
okay, all
maybe
right.
we can get someone to show you how to turn the camera on. In the lower left-hand corner, there should be a place that says video with a
Okay,
picture of a camera, and then you can just click on that and it'll turn your camera on so we can see you, but we can hear you fine. Isn't that all she needs to do, Daniel, is turn the camera on at the bottom?
Yeah, and then also turn it around. So it's
Right,
in the
right.
direction.
Yeah,
turn it around.
if you turn it around, because now we see your living room.
Oh, you're seeing my living room. Uh-oh.
Yes.
Okay.
If you turn it around, we'll be able to
Uh-oh,
see you.
you see the dog dish?
Yes, yes.
Yep.
And you guys, I'm gonna get off of here because the other meeting starts
Okay.
in 4 minutes. So
Okay, well, bless you.
oh, bless you. Thank you, Mary Lou. Thank you, Daniel,
you for sharing.
running this.
Okay.
And good
Wonderful.
having everybody. Nice to see everybody.
Have a great
Okay.
day.
Thank you. Bless you.
Bye.
God bless you
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Yes, bye-bye.
Bye.